So, hi, you guys know who I am. I'm Brendan, and that's actually me right here in the middle. On the right is my girlfriend, Adriana, and this was a few months ago. We were scuba diving in an island in Thailand. Actually, this guy in the back was hilarious. He asked a lot of questions throughout the scuba diving thing, so it's really funny to see him. What's the name? Photo bombing or whatever in the background there. Now I'm about to share with you my opinions. Take this with a grain of salt. You don't have to think the same way that I think, but I'm just going to share with you what I think. Okay, so these are my thoughts on marketing today. Now, I'm not here to talk about software launches. We tried that with Urgency Suites Pro. Some of you guys may have got that. It was an extremely useful software, but it wasn't a software that was designed to convert. And I'll get into that in later in the presentation. But basically, the reason why Urgency Suites Pro didn't convert is because it didn't promise instant riches and being able to push a button and make tons of money. What it promised was increasing conversions. And it was a bad fit for this market because what the market is looking for is that push button sort of dream, right? So I'm here to talk about how to be a Fuego agent and make money with info products. Okay. Now, this is how much a good launch will look like for me and Jono, my business partner. You can see here the lost code. It's currently at about 190,000. Fuego Multiplier is about 180,000, and El Bandito 73,000. So those are kind of like decent launches. We do those usually about once every 3 weeks. This is what a good backend will look like. Some of you guys might not be familiar with what a backend looks like. And truthfully, I was presenting this presentation to a bunch of well-established entrepreneurs. So if any of this kind of comes as confusing, feel free to ask questions in the chat box. But this was a presentation for people that are already making money. So there's going to be a lot of value here, but there might be a little bit of confusion as well. Okay. Essentially, what a backend means is a promotion that we do off the back of a product launch. So we use a product launch to get a bunch of new customers, and then with the customers that we get, we present them an offer, also known as our back end, which is our high ticket premium product. Okay, and this is generally what a good back end will look like, about 90,000. Okay. Now you can see year to date, this is not year to date anymore because we're in 2019, but up until almost November, we were at 1.4 million in sales. I think we ended the year about 1.8 million, something like that. Now, if you watch this presentation to the end, you're going to learn how to sell sexiness like a Fuego agent, okay? You're going to learn my opinion of this market, and warning, I can be mean. And also, you're going to learn how to get models to hang out with you, like these girls right here. You can see we had a lot of fun with these models. And truthfully, the hint, it's actually by paying them money. We paid them about $100 for the day each. Sorry, kind of went premature with the info there. This was jokes that I was planning for this presentation, but then I forgot that I had these jokes in here. But anyways, most important of all, if you're not already crushing it in business, you can avoid getting kicked in the nuts. So let's get into it, okay? This right here is a pet rock, okay? Now, pet rock was sold by a man, and if you're sold by a man, and basically what it was, and I'll show this in a second, but it's just basically a rock with eyeballs on it, and pretending that it was sort of like a pet. Now, if you're thinking that this is a rock with just packaging around it, the answer is yes. Gary Dahl invented the pet rock in the 1970s, and he found a beach with tons of rocks. He paid about 1 penny per rock, okay, about 1 penny per rock. He slapped on some fun and interesting packaging, and he sold the product for $4, and I think it was $5 or $6, something like $4, okay. He sold 3.8 million rocks at around $4 each, and he paid 1 penny per rock, okay. Now, what does this teach us? If the purchase price is cheap enough, very few people are going to take your product seriously. I really don't think too many people bought the pet rock thinking of it as a serious product or like it was a dog or a cat or any other pet that a family could own, right? But they still decided to buy it anyways. And, if you just get, what it teaches you is if you just get attention enough for people to actually pause and pay attention to what you're selling, you can make a bunch of money. And talk about relevant to a cheap online info product. Am I right? Okay. So the truth is 95% of the market doesn't actually really care about the info product that you release. And we're presenting in this live stream, I'm referring to us as selling the product now. So you are going to be pretending that you are selling the product to the market. 95% of the market is not even going to care about your product. Okay. And yes, 95% of online statistics are completely made up. My opinion, however, is that most of this market is buying for the high of making the purchase. Now, I've been doing this for a long time, guys, and I can tell you firsthand, I have a pretty good understanding of what the market wants and the reason why it makes purchases. And I will tell you that the majority of the time, the reason why people are making the purchase is because they want that rush. They want that temporary dopamine. It's the same reason why people buy a cookie at the grocery store. They want to temporarily feel better, okay, in their life, okay? They're not going to genuinely take action on what you teach. Nobody takes action on things unless they pay for it or they invest in it. So we have way more action takers when it comes to our high ticket because we have people that are investing $2,000, not $10 or $7 or $4. Okay, does that make sense to you? Give me a yes or no in the chat box if that makes sense to you. So we got yes, yep, yes, yes, total sense. Okay. So truthfully, they will open it, they will skim through your product, and tomorrow, the people in this market are going to buy the next deal of the day product that gets released. This used to really bother me. I'm being honest with you guys right now. This is the truth. But then I thought about it, and I thought, who am I to judge about what the market wants? I buy lottery tickets, I buy entertainment, I buy video games, I buy movies, I buy cookies, okay? I would have probably bought the pet rock if I was born earlier. And I saw a couple people in the chat box said that they actually did buy the pet rock as well. So, and most relevantly, I am a consistent buyer of make money online products all the time. I don't know how many products that you've bought online, but I can almost guarantee that I've bought more products than you have. I am buying info products all the time to see if somebody is doing something different than me. I'm buying tools all the time that make business easier for me. I am constantly buying make money online products. Sometimes I buy make money online products just to see how they sell that make money online product, how they are selling their pet rock. So remember, even though almost nobody is going to take your product seriously, sorry, they still might buy it anyways, okay? Now, you should still have a good product, okay? And this is where, I was being honest telling you guys the majority of the market is not even going to take your product seriously. That doesn't mean you should have a bad product. You should still have a good product. Even though people are buying out of impulse, in the beginning, that's your opportunity to build goodwill and connection with your tribe, okay? An example of that is this call that I'm doing with you guys right now. I am trying to tell you exactly how this market responds, what's involved in this market. I don't have anything to hard sell you on this call. So really, this is me trying to build more connection with all of you guys. And that connection and that bond that you have to your audience, that's where you can get people to take action. Okay. Now, even though they didn't care in the beginning when they bought that cheap, low ticket product, you can make them care once you get them into your business. Okay. You can actually influence loyal fans, which means that you can get more results for your customers. Now, you can't do that with impulse buyers. And of course, once people see that you are different than the other, people that are just, out for themselves. That you guys know this all the time. You buy a product and the person has no interest in trying to make your life better. They come up with a bunch of fake emails like first 50 people get this bonus and the bonus is all bogus and all that kind of crap. And they just do promotion email after promotion email, product after product after product after product. But they never actually investigate the product, let you know what the benefits of the product are, or give you any free training or show you anything because they don't care about you. They just care about extracting money from you, right? And in my opinion, those people are idiots because while they may make money in the short term, they really lose out the money that they could have made in the long term. Okay. Now, you will get all the business. Treat your customers like gold. But until then, expect initial sales to come out of impulse. So if you're going to sell in this market, realize you are selling the idea of a pet rock. You're selling the dream. You are selling a good experience. Once people have made that purchase, that's where you can change things. Okay. Now, as for what makes a good or a bad product, this is my opinion about it. The product actually has to work, right? If the 5% of unicorns that take action actually implement your training, because I'm speaking generally here, but I think about 5% are actually going to take action on your product. Will they get the results with it? Will they get results with it? Okay. Answer yes or no to that question, and you have your answer. Any product that me and Jonah release, we know that it works because we either personally use it in our business or we personally know somebody that uses that business model and we've investigated that model does actually work. That is what determines whether the product is good or bad, in my opinion. Now, I'm not going to waste any more time on this because, quite frankly, it's common sense. If you have a bad product, most customers are not going to buy from you again. And most of the money that you make should be from repeat customers, especially to either recurring or high ticket. Now, having a tribe of loyal fans will make it super easy moving forward. More on that later. But first, how to set up a low ticket launch. Now, if you're not a product launcher and you're freaked out about this, don't worry about it, okay? Calm your tits. It's really not that hard. We can do one of these every month. Not recommended. You don't have to do one of these every month. You do one once a year, right? I used to set them up in 2 days and then take 28 days off. Before me and Jonah Armstrong became business partners, I would, put together a product launch in either 1 day or 1.5 days or 2 days. And then the other 28 days I'd travel around until I do my next product launch. And that was these days. You can see me, this was in Isla Mujeres. I was actually just in Isla Mujeres. So I kind of went back there with my parents actually last week. But that's the way I used to run my business. And now I do launches that take more time, but they don't have to take that time. It's because me and Jono do these movie style launches and we're having more fun. We choose to spend more time on them, but they don't have to, okay? It's seriously easy how you can create these product launches. And for people that are in PPA, they know that we support them if they wanted to launch something like this. So first thing is that you need an actual product, right? And that's way easier than you think it is. Because the truth is, this is something that a lot of people don't think about, but there is no copyright for ideas. So what that means is you can find a really good course that's high quality, that provides a lot of value. You can implement the training from the course, get some results from the training, and then create a similar course. And it's 100% legal to do this because there is no copyright for ideas. There are only copyright for brands, titles, anything that, anything basically symbolic can have a copyright. But ideas, anything abstract, does not have a copyright. So boom, you can easily create your own product. That's it, 0 to hero. Just do it. I encourage you. So a lot of people on this call right now, they're going to be scared of creating their own product. I was too until I created my very own first product. A lot of people know my story already. I was going through a really hard time in my life. So I finally just said, screw it. I created my own product and it changed everything for me. It's not as hard as you think it is. Once you have the product, now you need to know how to sell it. And it's really all about two things, which is our objections and orgasms. This is something I've covered before in a previous call. So we're going to go through it again here, but it's important to know. And then we're going to move into other really important stuff on copy that I want to tell you guys about. So the orgasms are essentially what people want to hear. And the objections are things that people do not like to hear. So really, when it comes down to doing a successful product launch in this market, all you need to do is give people the things that are orgasms and avoid the things that are objections. Okay, so the orgasms are like making money, fast results. It's going to be easy. Social proof can be an orgasm. Presenting your product as different from what else is out there, and curiosity can also be a very good orgasm as well. Okay, curiosity could be something like, this method is unlike anything you've seen before. Well, it begs the question, what is the method like if I've never seen anything like it before, right? So now let's talk about the objections. So the objections are things that people do not like. So objections, people do not like to do any work. It's very sad. It sucks. I hate that this is the case, but most people don't like to do any work. People also don't like it if it's something that they've known before. People want the shiny new thing. They don't want the thing that they've seen before from a dozen other products. Even if the actual product itself or training is fundamental knowledge that will 100% work and make you a bunch of money online, if it's not brand new, people do not want it. Okay, they want the shiny new thing. Okay. So work could be like build a super responsive list from scratch. The problem with the headline here, build a super responsive list from scratch. First of all, list building is work, and from scratch means nothing is done. So it's a double whammy of objections. Now, it really actually only takes one objection to ruin a whole launch. Okay, so let's look at a flop launch so you guys can see that. Urgency Suites Pro. I talked about this at the start of the call. The original headline was 6x your sales in 30 seconds without any extra work. It's easy with Urgency Suites Pro. Now, what is the problem or the objection with this launch, and why did it convert so horribly? Because normally when me and Jono put out a product, it converts better than anything else on the market. But when we put out this product, it was horrendous. It didn't convert at all. So what is the objection? I'll let you guys put in a guess there in the chat box if you can spot what the objection is here with this headline. So we got some good guesses here, guys. A lot of people think that it has to do with the word work, but it actually doesn't. Okay? And I think I got my first right answer here. Ken Carmody says 6 times 0 is 0. And that is the problem with this headline. That is the reason. Some people are saying unrealistic claim or that, it's impossible. That's not true. Urgency, 100%, we've seen in many cases, has done more than 6x our profits. We could apply urgency, and in a specific situation where that urgency really benefits the situation, we've seen, profits increase by more than 10 times. So it's not even an exaggerated sales headline. It's honestly the truth. But the problem with it, as Ken was saying there, is that 6 times 0 equals 0. So the way that people look at this, the average person in this market doesn't have anything to 6x. So they kind of think, okay, well, I can multiply the amount of money that I'm making, but I'm not making any money, okay? Now, the thing here is, obviously you need to avoid all kinds of objections, because even if you just have one objection, it's going to ruin everything for you. You never want to lie about anything at the same time, because that's unethical. But there's no reason to bring up objections when you don't have to, and I look at this as a first date, okay? I've made this joke before, but basically on a first date, you take a lady out and you present your best self. You present to the lady or the man, depending on depending on who I'm talking to. You present the good qualities about yourself, but you never present the bad qualities. So you might say like, you might talk about like what your interests is, what interests you are, what books you read, or stuff like that. But you would never tell your date that you're unemployed, that you live with your parents, any kind of thing that would be a turnoff. You're not going to present that information to your date because you know it's going to work against you. So similarly to how you act in real life is how you sell things online. You want to present your best self. Okay. Now let's look at how to avoid objections and massively increase sales. The Fuego multiplier is a great example of that. It's currently at about 180,000. But what was the Fuego multiplier all about? Okay. The Fuego multiplier was how Jono uses paid traffic to make money online, how he does retargeting ads. Okay. Now to you and me, that sounds pretty freaking awesome, right? And remember, I was presenting this in Portugal to a bunch of established entrepreneurs that already knew about paid traffic, that already, know about building online businesses. So of course, this is me presenting that to them. To you guys, some of you guys would be freaked out by retargeting ads and paid traffic. Okay. Jono really knows how to do retargeting ads well. But to this market, paid traffic is a huge objection. It's really intimidating to a lot of people. Now, how do we avoid that objection? By saying that the Fuego multiplier allows you to multiply yourself. Okay? Essentially, we are getting across the orgasm, being able to scale and make more and more money, while simultaneously avoiding the objection, paying for traffic. So we don't actually say on the headline that the Fuego multiplier is to do with effectively executing paid traffic. Because if we did say that, the whole launch would flop. But the launch did very well because we told people about what's exciting about the method, which is that you can multiply the amount of money that you're making. Even just one objection will ruin an entire launch. Now, really, there are two main orgasms, okay? The first one is eliminating all of the objections. If you eliminate all the objections, there's no reason why people have reason to click off the page without buying, because they don't have a reason to leave. And people like buying things. This is something that I like to let people know about over and over again. There's a dopamine rush anytime that you buy something, whether it's online or offline, you get a dopamine rush for making that purchase. So people want to buy. You just can't give them a reason not to do it. Okay. The other ultimate orgasm is curiosity. So often I will tell people what the method is not about, but I will rarely tell them exactly what the method is about. And why do I do that? It's because it creates curiosity, and it even eliminates objections at the same time. So good knots, and if you want to implement this method, which I highly recommend, you would say this method is not about creating videos. This method is not about building websites. This method is not about paid traffic. Now remember, we're not going to lie. We're only telling people that the method is not about this thing if the method truly is not about that thing. So you just want to find the examples of things that the method is not about, that people don't want it to be about. Okay. Now, what happens when you do that? When you do not show your cards, you're essentially creating an open loop. Okay. Now, for people that watch TV, there's a show called Lost, and Lost was incredibly successful because they implemented open loops incredibly powerfully. Lost is a TV show with marketing. And that's the crazy thing. A lot of TV shows have marketing in it, and we don't even realize it when we're watching these TV programs that they are using persuasion and marketing on you to continue to invest in their product. So what Lost does is they always create a cliffhanger at the end of the episode. Something incredibly exciting would happen, and then they roll the credits and they say, "To be continued, watch the next episode." Now, they get an incredibly increased conversion rate on people that will watch the next episode because they have now the curiosity, the open loop, where they want to actually know the incomplete information. So an open loop is intentionally giving your audience incomplete information where they need to do the action that you want to be able to complete that incomplete information. Okay. Now, with low ticket info products, they're really only a few bucks, right? Like they're like pet rocks. So when you do actually implement curiosity, it works really well because most people are willing to invest a few bucks even just to satisfy their curiosity that they have about what the product is about. Now, I'm going to give you an example here. This is a product that I created called the Banger Method. And I said the simple twist of an easy method that makes $372 per hour. It was released with Mark Hess. It's a great product. And he actually made a Facebook post about it the other day because Mark Hess makes as much as $5,000-$6,000 a day as an affiliate marketer. And he showed in that course exactly what he's doing, right? And the Banger Method did pretty good because it implemented curiosity. Now, the headline was Simple Twist of an Easy Method. Now, the questions, there's a lot of questions that are begged and curiosity that's created from this headline. First of all, what's the twist? Second of all, what is the easy method? Okay. People don't have the answer to those questions until they buy the product. We've intentionally created curiosity, which encourages them to take the action that we want them to take to satisfy that curiosity. Now, orgasms versus objections, that's really 90% of the equation when it comes to selling on the internet in this market. Okay, it's really the secret sauce of the whole thing, or in the other words, the lost code for people that have watched The Lost Code. My girlfriend gives me a really hard time about how much I bite my nails, so I don't want to leave it on that screen for too long. Now, if you're new to launching and all this stuff freaks you out, don't worry, okay? Successful people learn. And how do successful people learn? They fail. So you know right now that if you want to make money online, the best thing that you can do is fail because that's how you're going to learn, right? Now, Thomas Edison said, I have not failed. I just found 10,000 ways that do not work. Very famous quote on failure and how important it is. Also, Abraham Lincoln said, don't wait for perfection. Do crap, see what happens. Didn't actually say that, but it's good advice. Now, if you do everything I've shown you here, the chance of you losing money is pretty minimal. And it could even go bigger than you think it will, okay? And you'll have a badass experience under your belt in the process. So if you're new, I'm excited for you. But what about the actual funnel? You probably recognize this guy. This is Russell Brunson. He made the funnel extremely popular. It's not just about the sales page that sells the initial product. I'm also going to tell you about 3 of our epic upgrades and why they convert so well. The first one is done for you, right? We always sell our first upgrade as done for you. Now, what do we do on the first upgrade? It's the same every single time, okay? The first thing that we do is we say thank you so much. Now, why do we say thank you so much on the first upgrade? We want to build goodwill with our customers. We want to have a friendly relationship with them. And we don't want to be seen as one of those guys that just extracts your money and just is always take, 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 take. We want to be seen as having a good relationship. So what we do, the first thing we do is we say thank you so much for making the investment. You're going to love what you just bought, okay? You're going to get the product, and we also say, the product's going to do exactly what we said it's going to do on the sales page. So nobody feels like they've been tricked or hoodwinked, right? Then we say, do you want the work done for you? Now, the reason why this converts so well is because on the sales page, we talk about how the method makes it, the method is very effective and it makes a bunch of money online, right? But nowhere on the sales page do we say that you're not going to have to do work. We say that, the method works. Mark Hess makes $5,000 a day with this method. It's called the Banger Method. He's doing this simple twist of an easy method, blah, 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 blah. So people have this idea, okay, now I bought the information to know how to implement this method that's going to make me a bunch of money, right? But then what's left that people don't want to do is, okay, now we have the information on how to make the money. But the thing that people don't want that's still left with them is that they have to do the work. So the obvious upgrade angle in your funnel done for you always converts amazing as upgrades. It always converts amazing as upgrades because it's the thing left that people still want to get covered that's not previously been covered. Okay, does that make sense? Give me a yes or no in the chat box. So I think I was a little bit sloppy with that explanation, and I want to make sure that everybody's on the same page and understands what I'm talking about here. So I got a yes, perfect. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, good. Okay, upgrade number 2, we do mid-ticket offers, and a lot of you guys have seen this. Basically, what we do here is instead of doing what most people do, which is to sell fairly junky upgrade products that are not really that great for 27 bucks or 37 bucks, where they're getting ticky-tacky amounts of money, but not actually even giving anything of value for the money that they're making. Instead of doing that, what we do is we have amazing upgrades that we implement on pretty much every launch that we do. So we re-roll out these upgrades all the time, but we sell them for a much more substantial price. We sell them for 200 bucks. And the reason why we do that is because we want to actually give people something great, but we want to actually make it be worth our while for us to give that away. Now, the way that we sell that, and remember I said scarcity really increases your sales, we limit the amount of spots that we sell of these upgrades. And it's kind of counterintuitive because you kind of think at one hand, okay, by limiting the amount of spots, I'm going to sell less because I'm limiting the amount that I can sell. But it actually has the opposite effect because by saying there's a limited amount of copies, it makes a bunch of people really want to buy it because they don't want to miss out. So even though it seems like you're going to be selling less, it actually makes you sell way more because people don't want to miss out. They always have a fear of missing out. Now, I'm going to show you, so first of all, you can see this is the lost code, and you can see that the product that generated the most amount of money was actually one of these $197 upgrades, which is the limitless traffic. I'm sure a lot of people on the call here have bought limitless traffic before, which allows you to put your ad pixels on all of our sales pages and get a massive stream of traffic to whatever you want. And so it generated $50,000. Now, it generated even more money than the front-end product. So that's how tremendous the $197 offers really can do, okay? Now, upgrade number 3, this is something that's super powerful that a lot of people don't even know about, and it's kind of crazy that I'm even releasing this information to anybody. I mean, I released it in Portugal, and I felt good about it because I was like, well, I'm really sharing a bunch of value here. But I also felt nervous about it at the same time because this is incredibly powerful stuff that I'm sure you probably haven't even heard of before. Downsell to a trial. So we have our $197 offer. And what we do is if people say, no thanks, I don't want that $200 product, then we offer them a trial of that product. So they would say like, oh no, I don't want that $197 product. And then we say, okay, well, why don't you try it for a trial period? And then if you like it, then we'll rebill you at a recurring subscription. Okay. Now, the brilliant thing about this is it's less risk to the consumer. And as you can imagine, $197 is not a small amount of money to a lot of people. So for that reason, conversions are not going to be insanely high because a lot of people are going to look at, well, 200 bucks, I'm not really prepared to pay that right now. But then when you have the trial, a massive amount of people are going to take the trial because it's the $200 product that they just didn't want to risk the 200 bucks. And now they can get it for barely anything to be able to check it out, satisfy their curiosity, and see what it's all about. Now, the really cool and interesting thing about this is if we look at the amount of money that's being generated from all these different products on like the lost code as an example, if you take a look at the bottom here, you can see 0-hour elite campaigns and elite insiders clubs, the 16,000 and 24,000. These, if I went into my account today, these numbers would be even higher because they're at recurring monthly subscriptions. Okay, so they're being rebilled every single month, and so over time, these offers are going to generate more money than anything else in the funnel. So over time, if you are patient, if you downsell to a trial to a recurring subscription, you will generate more money with that than anything else in your product funnel. And yet nobody that I've seen, nobody else does it. I haven't seen anyone else do it. And I don't know why, because it's one of the most profitable things you can do. Okay. Now, one thing I can't leave out, guys, is the back end. Not that kind of back end. If only it were that easy. In our case, the back end of a launch is our webinar. Okay. The Fuego breakout, the launch did $75,000 in sales, and $75,000 in sales, kind of an okay, mediocre launch for us. The back end did almost $70,000 in sales. The difference is with the $75,000 sales of the launch, a lot of the money is going to the affiliates, the people that are sending free traffic to our launch. So a lot of this money isn't ours. Well, a lot of it is, but a lot of it isn't. Okay. The back end is pure profit. So you want to make money with info launches. Really, the big money is doing the back ends and also having these customers that you can now promote things to. And as long as they look at you as a trustworthy person and they like you, you can make way more money after the launch than what you can make during the launch. Okay. Now, to us, this is the main money maker of the whole launch. And what is the point of this? Look at the amount of money that we're generating. Approximately 60% is coming from the back end. Now, this allows us to give away more cash prizes to affiliates than anybody else. Now, some people are not going to really understand what this means. So I'm sorry if this is confusing right now. But essentially, we set up these product launches, products like the lost code, the banger method, or whatever, and then we incentivize. We give affiliates extra money. We say, hey, if you send more sales than anybody else to this product, we will give you $2,000. Okay. Now, generally for cash prizes, we give away about $6,000 in cash prizes. Okay, $6,000. Now, that's more money than most people do in these info product launches. And the reason why we give away more cash prizes than anyone else is because our back end converts better than everybody else's. Okay, so our back end converts so well. Somebody's asking, what does the back end mean? The back end is sales that you make after the product launch. So you're selling a product to get a bunch of customers, and then with those customers, you build a connection, and then you sell them other stuff. Okay. So the back end. I actually have an agreement for people that are in PPA that I will actually run the back end for you so that you don't have to worry about it at all. And there are other people that do back ends in the business as well. So if obviously a lot of people just getting started out, they're not even ready to do a product launch to get alone a back end yet, don't worry about it, because if you get the product launch in place, we can figure out and sort out the back end for you, right? So we've still got some time left. So let's talk about sales strategy. Also, guys, just so you know, I really can't stress this enough. This was a presentation that I did to established make money online entrepreneurs. So there's two things to know about that. First of all, it might feel a little bit over your head right now, and that's fine. That's normal, okay? If you're not familiar with this space, maybe some of this stuff you're just hearing about for the first time, and that's okay, right? Second of all, this is the real enchilada. This is exactly what's happening behind the scenes. I'm sharing with you exactly what we're doing, exactly how we're doing it, and the best things that are doing well for us. So there is a lot of value here, and if you just sort of take in the information now, I guarantee you that if you continue with making money online, it will be useful to you at one point in your journey. Okay. So let's talk about sales strategy. The secret to selling is becoming a smart idiot. Now let me explain. When you go complicated with your copy, you will often lose most of your audience. This obviously goes out the window if you're an amazing copywriter that can keep people anticipating. So if you are somebody that can write words in such a fashion that people can read your words for 20 or 30 minutes and not get bored, then ignore what I'm telling you. But the majority of people are not, professional copywriters. So what you want to do, okay, well, first of all, so an example of somebody that is really good at copy is this guy named Colin Thoreau. And he has a Facebook group called The Cult of Copy. And he writes copy like this, where he basically does a lot of curiosity, says a lot of interesting things, and he keeps people engaged in his copy. And some people can do that and keep attention, but they are the minority, and it's definitely not something that I recommend to the mainstream. For more sales and influence, the best thing that most of us can do is keep things really, really, really simple. Okay. Now, an example of this is Frank Kern. Okay, now a lot of people know Frank Kern is. I'm a fan. He covers big topics in an incredibly simple way. So here's a couple of his quotes. Okay, first of all, Frank Kern quote: "The key to success online is very simple. Number one, don't fuck around. Number two, don't be a pussy." Now, this sounds kind of weird coming out of my mouth because it doesn't fit my brand, right? So it might sound weird coming from me. But this is Frank Kern's brand. And the cool thing he's doing here is he's making selling online seem incredibly super, super simple. All you need to do is do these two things, and they're basic things that everybody understands. Now, the thing is, selling online is not that easy, and we all know that selling online is not that easy. If you've been trying to make money online for a while, you already know that it's not as easy as people are pretending it to be. But Frank Kern is able to word things in a way where it seems incredibly easy, and he does it with very simple language. Here's another Frank Kern one. Making money online is easy. Build a list and sell them stuff. Okay. Now, if you're like, you look at these, it makes it seem like it's so freaking easy. Make money online is easy. Build a list and sell them stuff. Well, building a list means you need to set up an autoresponder. You need to create an opt-in page. You need to have some kind of irresistible free giveaway thing to get people onto your subscriber list. And then you need to set up emails where you keep people engaged. And then in those emails, you sell them. Like, really, it's way more complicated than he's making it out to be. But the way that he says it has so much certainty to it that you feel like you just feel relieved. Like, making money online is easy. Build a list, sell them stuff, and that's it. So do you guys understand what I'm saying here? Give me a yes or no in the chat box. If you understand how Frank Kern is essentially, making this a super friendly and something that you can really get on board with way of presenting something that's a lot more difficult than he's sort of presenting it to be. So people are saying, yes, Frank Kern is good at what he does. I know Peter's saying, Brendan, question, why are you sharing this with us? Most people don't share the truth. I would agree with that. I would agree with that 100%. So truthfully, I'm sharing you guys the truth in this training. So hopefully you guys can see the value in it. Hope you apply it. And hopefully you guys get really big results, and this will be a useful part of your journey. That's my goal with this call today. You can see a testimonial Frank Kern made on a product called Ever Webinar, which is something I'm actually a customer of. And his quote is, "This is just the greatest thing ever, ... period." So Frank Kern's quote is, "This is just the greatest thing ever, period." Now, there's no facts in this quote. There's no stats. Nothing is really said other than this is so great, it's amazing. And yet it works so well because it's simple. It gets the idea across. Very simple. It's very easy for anybody to read and take across the certainty that he is portraying in a very small amount of words. Okay. Now, truthfully, if somebody created a longer quote where they talked about, okay, I took Ever Webinar and I applied it to this niche funnel, and then I got these stats that came out of it, that testimonial would have less of a sales impact than something simple like, this is just the greatest thing ever, period. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is that they oversell. Frank Kern never oversells. He keeps things simple to a point, and it almost seems like he isn't selling. Okay, now that last one is Frank Kern helping sell EverWebinar, which I bought. This is just the greatest thing ever. You can't argue with that. I already said that already. Now, I've noticed that good marketers take complicated topics and make them seem simple, taking away people's insecurities with a very swift stroke of confident brevity. Okay? People want to feel good. They don't want you to explain things to them. Now, I think we could have a whole presentation on Donald Trump. I don't have anything good or bad to say about Donald Trump. I'm Canadian and don't even have a horse in the race. But I will say this. Trump is very simple with his language. And there's a reason behind that. Even if you dislike Donald Trump, he is a great marketer. And the reason why he's a great marketer is because he's a master of simple language. Okay? Now, people are lazy. This is the thing, right? They like shows with laugh tracks, and I like The Big Bang Theory too. But the Big Bang Theory essentially has a laugh track telling you when to laugh. And the reason why you laugh is because it tells you to laugh. If you try and watch The Big Bang Theory and you remove the laugh track, it's not funny at all. What makes it funny is that they are conveniently telling you what you're supposed to think is funny. Okay? So when it comes to communicating anything, whether you're creating a TV show, you're selling something on the internet, you're trying to get a girlfriend, you're trying to become president, it really doesn't matter. The more simple you are, the more you are going to sell. So you really can't go wrong with simplifying your angles. And I'll give you an example of that, okay? Of complicating something and it going wrong. Now, we know that standing out is important. In marketing, we want to get attention, right? Attention equals sales, sort of. So here's how it can go wrong. One time I wrote an email to my list with the subject line, name, so this is going to extract what their name is. Are you an idiot? Question mark. So this is what the actual email said. Seriously, you can talk about funnels or landing pages till you're blue in the face. The look you'll get from friends or family is usually the same. Why am I such a freaking idiot? Is basically what I was trying to say there. That all changed when I brought home $500,000 this year. So basically the point of the email was, people are going to look at you like you're stupid, but really you're not, because there is something to making money online. So it was a very reasonable email that was kind of like a motivational email. I thought that my copy was amazing. Okay. I thought this is amazing. It's going to get a ton of attention. It has a nice little twist there. It has a good message to it. And people are going to really eat this up, right? But then I started getting the feedback and the responses from this email. And I'm not going to tell you all the individual responses here, but essentially the feedback that I got back from my own subscribers was, Brendan, go and bleep yourself. Okay. And the reason why the point is this. You want to keep things simple. The reason why I had such bad backlash to that email was because I tried to complicate things. I essentially made it look like I was calling my subscribers idiots, when really I was calling how people will perceive you when you try and make money online. People will perceive you as an idiot when you're really not, okay? But it was too complicated, and people are not here for complicated things. They have low attention spans, and they're generally going to spend a few seconds on what you have to say a lot of the time. So always keep it simple and always keep it at a 5th grade level, and you've just made yourself better than 99% of other people when it comes to copy. Now, the more simple you are with your message and your angle, the more people are actually going to absorb it. Using simple copy, like, makes more money for almost everybody. Okay, some people are good at longhand copy, but they are the minority. In general, you're much better off doing simple copy. Okay, period. Now, my closing thoughts. We don't see things as they are. We see things as we are. Okay, I tried and I failed in business for 8 years where I wasn't making any money online at all. Everyone thought I was an idiot because I was like trying to make money on the internet and I never did. And the reason why I never made money online was because I never believed that any of it was actually for real. I thought the income proofs were fake. I thought the programs were all scams. And I was standing in my own way, right? Because I saw things as I was, not how things actually are. Now, coming to an event like this, obviously this doesn't make sense because this was an event in Portugal, can be humbling. And the reason why I said it can be humbling was because there were multi millionaires in the room. There were people that are making more money than I do in that room. So I was saying that if you're at this event right now, you're a newbie, you're starting out, you have to realize that coming to this event, you can see the possibility. You can see that this is all real. Okay. You have to realize that making millions of dollars on the internet is 100% possible. But if you want to become more successful than you currently are, you need to first believe that it is possible, and most importantly, that you can do it. Okay. Now, okay, Brendan, enough with the pep rally. Before I go, I want to leave you with one final piece of advice. I learned this from Pooh in the 3rd grade. Not that Pooh. This Pooh. Okay. Winnie the Pooh said, "They say nothing is impossible, but I do nothing every day." Now, you'll probably make way more money if you're working nonstop. You get multiple jobs, if you work tons amounts of hours to try and figure out how to make money online, you'll probably make more money. We all know that, right? I'm not going to deny that. But I guarantee you, you'll be happier in your life if you find a balance. Okay? Now take that with a grain of salt. I am particularly a marketer where I can make way more money than I make, but I choose to do nothing a lot of the time. And a lot of people, if you listen to Gary Vaynerchuk, other entrepreneurs, other marketers that are out there, they will tell you that you're lazy. If you stop and watch the football game, or you go and have a beer with your girlfriend, or you go scuba diving for the day, or you watch TV, people will tell you that you're lazy. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? There's nothing wrong with taking time for yourself and enjoying your life and relaxing. And some of the most miserable people that I've met in my life are successful entrepreneurs that can't turn it off, okay? They can't shut off and they never stop working. And they're more miserable than the broke person that they're selling to. So everything in life, in my opinion, is a balance. There's a way to create a lifestyle business where if you do the smart things, you do the right things, chip away at it, you can make a lot of money in a short period of time. But my opinion is to not be incredibly money hungry to the point of unhappiness. But again, take that with a grain of salt. That's my opinion. Okay, now are you still here on this call? We actually have a lot of people still here. How much money are you making online? Give me an amount of money that you're currently making online, guys. So we got a lot of people saying zero, lots and lots of zeros, unfortunately. Guys, I was right there with you. Don't feel embarrassed. I didn't make any money for 8 years. 8 years. So if you're making no money, it's, that was my life story for a long time. Now, how much money would you like to make online? What's the amount of money that would be important to you? So Don wants 30K per month, 5K a month, $10,000 per month. Larry says $0 because he doesn't want to be known for selling crap. Well, the thing about it, Larry, I don't want to be mean, but you're in control of what you sell. So there's really no reason that you have to sell crap to make money. I mean, you get to control what you sell. So you don't have to sell crap, but you can make money and sell good stuff. Rita says $30,000 per month. Catherine says 5,000. Krish wants 250K per year. Juan has 100K per month. Peter has 10K per week. 5K per month from Winston. 7K per month from Greg. 3K a month to start. 2,000 a month. 5 to 10K per month from Don. 3,000 a month and scale up to 10,000 per month, says Jim. 30K. 30K. We got 10K per month. So a lot of different answers there. Okay, now I promised you guys that I'm not going to hard sell anything on this call, that it's mainly just to show you the truth and free and valuable information, okay? So I don't have anything to hard sell you on this call, but at the same time, I'm going to show you our main program that we have, that we sell, where we get, our biggest success stories and what we take the most seriously is our high ticket program. So I'm going to share that with you. Obviously, I'm not hard selling anything, and I don't even care if I make a sale here today. But since we have a full call, we've been here for an hour, whatever, I'm going to just show it, and that's it. So I'm just going to show it. You can see what you think about it, and that's it. No obligations whatsoever, no pressure here, and that's it. So, okay, the secret to making money on the internet. This is the part where I would normally hard sell something. And but I don't want to do that. That's not what this call was about. So, feel free to leave if you just wanted the free training. If you came here for the free training tonight, I really hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for coming. And really, I shared you exactly what works behind the scenes. So, really I hope that you can take nuggets of what I've shown you here tonight and build a massive successful business because of it. I really genuinely mean that, okay?